Hello everyone, my name is Miss Trisket, and this is a new series I'm starting called Movie Makeup Horror Edition. In this series, I will be telling you my own summary of the horror movie chosen while I do a makeup look inspired by it. And I'll be starting this series off with the classic movie Scream. Before I get started, I am spoiling the entire movie, and there will be talk about the M word, which I will be saying in this TikTok because this is about a horror movie, so please scroll if you're not into that. Okay, now let's get started. The movie starts off with high school student Casey Becker, who is home alone when she receives a mysterious phone call from an unknown person, during which they discuss horror films. The caller turns sadistic, refusing to leave Casey alone and threatening to take her life. He reveals that her boyfriend Steve is bound and gagged outside on her patio and demands she answer questions about horror films if she wants him to live. After Casey answers a question about Friday the 13th incorrectly, Steve is murdered in front of her. Refusing to answer more questions, Casey attempts to escape, but is cornered by someone wearing a Ghostface costume, who kills her before her parents arrive home to find her disemboweled corpse hanging from a tree. News media descends on the town in the wake of the murders and a police investigation begins. Teenager Sydney Prescott struggles with the upcoming first anniversary of her mother Maureen's murder. While a news reporter, Gail Weathers, whom Sydney despises, arrives as a press member, Gail is responsible for writing a book and spreading rumors about Maureen's murder, insinuating that the imprisoned 𝐒𝐂𝐑𝐄𝐌, who was tried and convicted of Maureen's murder, was not responsible for the crime. That night, while waiting at home for her best friend Tatum Riley to arrive, Sydney gets a taunting phone call and is attacked by Ghostface. Sydney's boyfriend Billy Loomis arrives immediately after, but while comforting her, he drops his cell phone. Sydney suspects him of being the unknown caller and flees. Because of this, Billy is arrested and questioned by the police. Then later at her friend Tatum's house, Sydney receives another ominous phone call. The next day, Billy is released and suspicion shifts to Sydney's father, Neil Prescott, because the ominous phone calls have been traced to his phone. After school is suspended in wake of the murders, Ghostface ambushes Principal Arthur Hembry and stabs him to death. Tatum's boyfriend, Stu Marcher, who is also Billy's best friend, throws a party to celebrate school's closure. Gail attends uninvited as she expects the killer to strike again. Tatum's older brother, Deputy Sheriff Dewey Riley, also looks out for the murderer at the party. While Tatum heads down to the garage to pick up some beer, she is cornered by Ghostface, who crushes her neck in the garage door when she attempts to escape through the pet door. Many of the party attendees want to head to the school after hearing about Hembry's death, only leaving Sydney, Billy, their friend Randy Meeks, Stu, and Gil's cameraman Kenny at the house. After Billy and Sydney are done breaking the bed, if you know what I mean, they are confronted by Ghostface, who stabs Billy, and Sydney tries to escape the house and seek help from Kenny before he's killed by Ghostface. Meanwhile, Gail crashes her van while escaping, and Dewey is stabbed in the back while investigating in the house, with Sydney taking his gun for protection. Randy and Stu show up and accuse each other of being the killer, but Sydney retreats back into the house where she finds a wounded Billy. After letting Randy inside, Sydney gives Billy the gun, who in turn shoots Randy, revealing himself to be the killer. Stu is revealed to be his accomplice by talking into the voice changer they used in the calls. Billy and Stu corner Sydney in the kitchen and discuss their plan to kill her. Their plan was to stab each other to appear as victims and pin a murder spree on her father, whom they have taken hostage. They also revealed that they murdered her mother and framed Cotton for it because she was having an affair with Billy's father, the affair that resulted in his mother leaving him and his father. Before they're able to kill Sydney, Gail intervenes, enabling Sydney to escape and turn the tables on the killers, by taunting them with a phone call and putting on the Ghostface costume before knocking Billy out and killing Stu by dropping a television set on his head. Billy is enraged when he awakens and attacks Sydney, but Gail shoots him. Randy is wounded but alive, and he makes a funny remark that in horror movies, killers always resurface for one last scare. As Billy rises, Sydney shoots Billy in the head, finally killing him. And as the police arrive, Dewey is badly injured and is taken away in an ambulance, as Gail makes a news report about the previous night's events. I hope you liked this video. Please comment what horror movie you want me to do next.